This video is created for educational purposes only and does not condone or promote the use of any drug in any way, shape, or form. So Salvia Divinorum is quite the strange substance. Salvia is considered to be an atypical psychedelic as it acts upon the kappa opioid receptor in the brain, whereas other classic psychedelics such as LSD, psilocybin, and DMT operate on the 5-HT2A serotonin receptor. So this substance offers entrance into a completely new frontier of the psychedelic realm. The salvia plant is 100% natural and is native to the cloud forest region in Oaxaca, Mexico, where the Mazatec people have actually been performing psychedelic rituals with salvia for centuries and consider the substance to be very sacred. And although, like I stated, salvia is in a class of its own, it shares similarities with DMT in the sense that it takes effect instantly once inhaled and lasts about 10 to 15 minutes, and you have a complete breakthrough experience in which you may completely leave your body and this world and are placed in a seemingly completely different one. And you may forget that you're human and forget that you even took a substance at all. The trip reports people have on salvia are weird as fuck and sound completely out of this world and completely impossible. People literally report turning into inanimate objects such as a carpet, a lamp, or a cup or something. And that sounds crazy, turning into a lamp? How could that be? It sounds impossible, but people who have taken salvia say that as sure as you are that you are human right now, they are just as sure that they are indeed a lamp while they are tripping on salvia. And oftentimes when we are dealing with psychedelics, the experience just can't be put into words. And I often find that people who have put the psychedelic experience into art form end up describing it better than words ever could. So allow me to take a minute to just run some salvia trip art across the screen. Alright, so you saw that art. So trippy and completely out of this world, right? So personally, I've never tried salvia, and I'll explain why towards the end of the video, but through looking at art depicting the salvia experience and just reading countless trip reports and such, I do find some very common themes or archetypes that appear to be specific to the salvia experience. Personally, I'm fairly experienced with a couple of the more classical psychedelics, and these deal much more with transcending in the sense that you leave your ego mind, but you don't necessarily become something else. It's more of a merging with the divine, the infinite, the source, whatever you want to call it. While salvia appears to be more about leaving your ego mind, but then experiencing what it is like to be someone or something else. And also on salvia, like other psychedelics, the time dilation is major. So there have literally been people who have reported living completely different lives during just their short 15-minute experience. One man who went on the Joe Rogan podcast reported living a life of an entirely different person for 3 whole months, where he had a job, family, and friends. But when it comes to the other archetypes that appear to be exclusive to salvia, they have to do with stretching, squeezing, twisting, folding, and contorting the experience of consciousness. One archetype is the rolling archetype, where people feel like their entire being is literally being rolled up, like being rolled into a ball or being rolled up like how you roll a carpet up or something. Another one is the factory or conveyor belt archetype, where people either feel that their entire being is just a piece of something that is being made in a factory or moving along a conveyor belt. Another one is the zipper, where they feel like they are being unzipped, and this unzipping represents entrance into a new, deeper layer of reality, potentially deeper aspects of oneself, completely obliterating any sense of order or time one had in the previous reality. And another one, like I already mentioned, is turning into a literal inanimate object like a cup or a stapler or something, which seems so insane because how can you imagine being something that is not even living? And the thing about these inanimate objects is that they are objects that exist because matter has been molded in such a way that it becomes that specific object. So the user may feel like they are being molded in such a way that leads them to be such an object. And many trip reports say that once they feel they are that object, that is simply just the way they are. That is just their reality. Just as simple as you can say that you're human right now, they could have said in that experience with the same amount of certainty that you can say you're human, that they were a cup. and the interpretations of these crazy experiences vary widely. Some are left traumatized by having the entire fabric of their being molded, contorted, twisted, and ripped apart in such various ways, while others are fascinated by it and keen on continuing to experience what the Salvia realm has to show them, because what one can experience on Salvia should not be possible, and it's really only evident how complex reality is and shows us how little we truly know. Having our entire being thrash about can also make us very appreciative of this human life we are currently in, that has free will, that likely has a roof over its head, and easy access to food and water, and for the most part does not have to struggle to survive. So if you are considering trying this substance, I would highly advise that you start with a low dose. I will not go into specific dosage here, but will leave some links in the description, because people's sensitivities to salvia vary drastically, so you're going to want to know how you respond to it first before diving deep. And also, it is mandatory that you have a trip sitter while doing salvia, more so than other psychedelics, because when you're completely gone on salvia and you have no idea that you're a human or that you ever even took a substance in the first place, you can still actually move around and walk quite easily, which when your rational thinking is so impaired, you might end up feeling inclined to do something stupid like jump out a window or break something or do something along those lines. So always have a trip sitter that is watching you to make sure you do not do anything like that. And as far as legality goes, the legal status of salvia varies by country. Some have banned it, some have not. But here in the US, it is not illegal on a federal level, but some states have made it illegal. So if the legality status is of concern for you, you will just have to research for yourself. And as far as personal experience goes, I am not inclined to try salvia anytime soon, but maybe one day. In 2020, I have barely used any psychedelics at all, since the series of powerful trips I had back in 2019 gave me enough insights to work with that I am still integrating them today. The biggest impact psychedelics have had on me is that they have shattered any certainty I have had about what the fuck this reality is, but they've also shown me that the point isn't necessarily to know. The only thing I need to be working on is embodying unconditional love to the highest degree, and that in doing that I'll not only heal myself, but I'll also heal the collective as well. Psychedelics induced in me the epitome of what a spiritual awakening is, and have given me years of integrative material to work with, so when trip reports of salvia only further reinforce the message that we know nothing about how deep reality goes, I don't feel inclined to try it because I already got that message. Another thing is, entity encounters on salvia tend to be much more hostile than entities on other psychedelics. Just from my research, it appears the percentage of having a traumatic experience is higher than that on salvia than any other psychedelic, which, you know, I don't think I need to go through a traumatic experience right now. So I think I'm going to steer clear of salvia, but I am open to having an experienced salvia user in the comments sharing their experience, and I am open to the idea that this substance could offer insights on a level no other psychedelic could. So if you've had your life change for the better from salvia, let us know in the comments. And that's about all I got for today, guys. I hope this video was insightful for you. If you wish to support me on a deeper level and have a few extra dollars to shell out, I do have a Patreon. I would be so grateful for some support on there. And as always, guys, have a great day and peace.